Hey, changing gears, what do you think of Obama having the beer sit down? We're going to all be talking about this tonight on TV.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a mess that he got into by saying anything about a local thing. I mean, hey, that cop was so intelligent. I mean, that's what him over.
It really did.
If the cop hadn't said anything, it would have just gone away. But that cop just said, hey, and he even said, I support the president.
I support the president. He goes, hey.
It's a local thing, and you shouldn't you don't know everything that happened. Every time it just shows that every time something happens when nobody was there, just a private moment between two people, then everyone's wrong. Absolutely everyone's wrong. No one should say a thing.
How do you
don't know you weren't there, and then nobody knows what the woman really said when she called them. Everything gets distorted because people bring their own thing. So when you start with something and then you become the president saying something,
well, the president
as definitive as that was stupid,
you should know better.
But it's because then nobody knows what it's like to be Barack Obama and Louis Gates Jr. If you're black, like here's the thing with Louis Gates Jr. The thing that white people have to keep in mind, because we have different timelines in our heads. Like white people often say, I've heard so many white people say, slavery was 400 years ago. It was 130 years ago. It was really recent. People say that. Hey, we started 400 years ago. Slavery began.
We kind of mopped up.
Yeah, we got a couple centuries in.
And also
hit the lights until about
130 years ago is when it really stopped. And also it didn't stop, and then things have been just awesome for black people since that's the last bad thing to happen to any black person was slavery 400 years ago. That's what we think. And since then, we've just been showering them with gifts. Since then. It ended officially 130 years ago, really continued for another 80. And then,
give or take.
The thing to remember is that if a black guy or a black woman has little gray hair at the temples, they lived in an America where they were legally barred from using certain bathrooms, where the country didn't let them use the bathroom. Keep your that was the official American law.
Right.
Was you can't pee anywhere you want. Coon. That's what it was like. And so you take that. So anybody that age remembers that and has had to live and go, okay, thank you for now letting me do what I should have always been able to do. Or you were raised by somebody. If anybody younger, a black person in their 30s or younger was raised by somebody who lived in an America like that.
Right.
So how do you Louis Gates Jr., he's the president of Harvard, and he sees a cop looking at him twice. He's like, what do I got to do? What the do I got to do? So if you're the president of Barack Obama, you got Louis Gates Jr. calling you on the phone and telling you and just screaming at you, and you're like, oh boy.
Because that's
guys Barack's age are raised, again, they're their parents. So for better or worse.
Which one, though? The white one or the black one?
Well, I mean, every black person is Barack. I mean, imagine what Barack gets from black people older than him. Okay, now that you're in there, you're going to apologize for, take down the Washington Monument. He's like, look, I can't take down the Washington.
Black.
Listen, I can't take it down. Paint the White House black. I can't
do that.
Look, small moves. F you. I told you if you get in there, you're painting the White House black. Yes, I did. Look.
White House black.
Ugh. When he got the call from Louis Gates Jr., he rubbed his temples and went, oh, God. I gotta say something.
Speech coming up here. I gotta say something.
I gotta say say
something.
And then he prefaces
his family
by saying, "I wasn't there."
Yes,
but now let me talk like I was. Yes. And get into all kinds of trouble.
Exactly. So I think he made a mistake by saying something, but it's an understandable mistake on some level.
It turns out the cop was
that Stalker Patty on Maury just now?
Yeah.
Are they still running that?
Yeah.
That
episode's running today. If anybody wants to watch it. Yeah.
That thing has been rerun probably 10 times. She talks about how she...
God bless you. All right, anyway, back to the president.
But what a great angle that I haven't heard from anyone yet about Obama and the he has to hear from people.
What he hears from older
that
black
we
generation.
Never get to hear.
No, we have no idea what kind of pressure he has.
You gotta imagine those phone calls are pretty fucking brutal. Like,
you gotta say something.
Yeah, you gotta do this for all of us. Yeah. I can't.
No, and part of having a black president now, it is a major difference, is that you're gonna hear a perspective you're not used to hearing, that's all. And it's not always gonna be right. It's gonna be flawed from a black perspective. But it's just we have never...
We've never been.
Never been in that situation.
Here's the only problem. I can wrap it up with what people believe I am. People believe I'm just a horrific racist.
I don't think you are.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
I think you're
horrific.
a delightful racist.
I'm very good. Now, here's the thing. I cannot stand the disproportionate amount of crime and violence in the black community amongst young black men. Mm-hmm. The disproportionate amount of violent, sheer, brutal violence. And I'm not even talking just against, white folk. Black on black is amazing. It is amazing the willingness and quickness at which they will kill each other over nothing. And that, to me, it's too separate. I can't relate to it. I don't know other people that can relate to it. Did
you ever live in like a black neighborhood?
Yes, I lived in Central Islip. I lived on Hawthorne Avenue, if you know where that is.
But were you in like a white enclave, or were you in a black neighborhood?
Nope. I was in a black neighborhood with a few white kids that were petrified for their lives on a daily basis going to school. There was this kid, Keith Green, his name was, and he'd come up to me and go, "Give me 50 cents. Give me 50 cents every day." And I'd have to give him 50 cents. or it was like, wham, you're getting whacked.
Fucking head rule.
You have to give him 50
cents. And I was
it had to be 50. It literally wasn't 50.
Why?
It was 50.
Yeah, and Danny put the picture of 50 up.
I think there's a 50. There's got to be a 50 cent piece at some point.
50 cent, give me 50 cent. And he'd look down at me like, give me 50 cent. Like, and I'd be petrified.
Sure.
I was so scared.
That's all he wanted was 50 cents?
Just 50
You're
cent.
like, I got $1. He's like, no,
50. Though, dude. So 50 cent was...
With inflation, that's, it was probably $10.
That was everything. That was lunch. That was, hanging out, candy after school. Everything.
50 cents.
All that 50 cent was huge.
All that for 50 cents.
Back in the day.
God damn.
Back in the day. But I don't like the excuse of
Coke and a Snickers.
That whole thing. Like the whole, all right, you were brought up in a black neighborhood, it's impoverished, it's this, it's that.
Well, I don't think it's that simple. I think, I lived in Roxbury for a while in Massachusetts.
Yes, another pleasant area.
Very nice. In the Parker Street I lived on Parker Street, next door to the Parker Street projects.
Wow.
My car was stolen while I was a girl. Like, I was a girl in my apartment, and I heard glass, like that sound of car glass breaking, that safety glass, like outside the window, and I'm like, okay, that's right outside the window.
That's my car.
And then I hear the car starting, I'm like, that's my car.
Oh, jeez.
And I run out on the street and watch the car. I'm looking at the taillights of my car, and someone else is in it. And I go back and I call 911. Somebody stole my car. I can still hear it going down the Parker Street hill. And the guy goes, "You got to come in and fill out a report." And I go, fucking send somebody here.
Right.
He goes, "No, you have to come down to the precinct and fill out paperwork." And it's because I lived on the Parker Street projects, cops would not come there.
Wouldn't come there. Why
they
would
wouldn't come there. When I grew up in Newton, Massachusetts, there's cops circling our house like the president is having dinner there.
Wonderful.
Constant police surveillance.
Isn't that great?
Of rich neighborhoods. And Parker Street, my neighbors were lovely people who lived behind bars. Like Ross Perot said in one of the debates, these people they put themselves in prison in order to protect themselves because cops won't go to these places and the city won't clean the streets.
Why?
Because they don't give a shit about those people. Yeah, because
it's not so much that they don't give a shit about those people. They fuck themselves by going in those neighborhoods. Cops put their lives and their careers.
It's not the specific police. It's what resources are allocated to what places. And rich neighborhoods get more resources allocated to them than poor neighborhoods, and because that's where the tax bases are.
The tax is also paying for that protection.
It's really poor on poor violence, and black people have a poor look to them because a lot of them are poor and they have been historically. So it is a cycle, I think, though. I think it's a cycle.
So there's nobody that can.
If you neglect a neighborhood, everybody will. People rob and kill their neighbors. That's what people do. Yeah. They don't go to other areas.
Oh no, I realize very rarely it does happen. But but I'm saying yes. That's why I was saying black on black crime is amazing. You ever watch First 48, where they got to take the first 48 hours and investigate it, and in the end,
I love those shows.
It is always on this show. Not only like cops, where you get to see some white trailers parked trash, beating each other's senseless. This is all black guys killing other black guys.
Right.
The victim's black, the witnesses are black, the perp is black.
Why do you care about black on black crime, though?
I'm saying that is what makes this divide. Like I've been poor. I lived in my car. I've been impoverished for many years. I wasn't able to afford food. I dug change out of couch cushions. I lived on friends' couches until they.
Your friend's couch and you dig the change out?
Yeah, dig the change out to try to buy Hydrox cookies. I couldn't even get Oreos.
Wow.
Yeah, just to that. So I've been in that situation, but I understand I'm not black. I have lived the whole legacy of that.
But I don't think it's just. I just don't think it's that simple.
But I have no idea of that lifestyle where life is so worthless. And violence is so prevalent where the want for violence. Like if I got in a fight with somebody and I punched them and they fell down, I would not then stomp their head until they're dead or in a coma in the hospital or something like that. But that seems to be what's going on.
Well, can I just make a distinction though?
Please.
As far as where this conversation came from.
Yeah.
Louis Gates Jr. being arrested and getting cranky about it.
Oh, right.
and that coming from his personal history being a painful one in America, understandably, and rising above it, by the way, and he didn't respond to it by being a black on black violentor.
No,
he responded to it by elevating himself and running the greatest
Black Studies
the greatest
program,
universe.
by the way. Which, by the way, is revisionist history a lot of times, and it's
he's the president of Harvard.
Ingrained,
trust
of white people, if not a genuine dislike of white people.
Well, sure, again,
that 50 Cent really,
that really did. Yeah, see, and by the way, this is interesting because then here's this other one: is you're definitely colored, so to speak, by the fellow who asked you for 50 Cent. That was a fear that was put into you that you'll never forget. And I respect and understand that.
Yeah.
That's going to mean that you're going to see all these stories differently. When you see Barack Obama saying they acted stupidly, it just is a beeline in a synopsis firing path in your brain that goes right to that guy asking you for 50 Cent anytime, and that's deeply ingrained in you, and that's understandable. 50
Cent was the last time I ever saw
when Louis Gates
bad.
Jr. sees a cop with his hand on the gun, on the butt of the gun, saying, "Sir, I need you to step away from your own house." He just remembers. He remembers whites only signs and all that stuff, and it drives him crazy. And so that's just everybody brings their own thing to it. I personally think that America's working remarkably well considering all that. It's considering all the wreckage of the history. It actually works pretty well.
There is the fact
that, look, people in Iowa voted for Barack Obama. That means that, we're, whether or not he ends up being a great president, I think we're coming out on top of this. But it's complicated. It's a messy family.
I disagree.
My father came and stayed with me for a week. Well, 2 days. It felt like a week. It was 2 days. And my dad, I have such a up history with my dad. But I got through it. I got through these 2 days. I was like, hey, you know what? We made it.
We can do this.
Like, he's 72 now. I don't know how long he's got left. I'm not sure, how he's making it. He's had a tough life.
Yeah.
And so I got through the 2 days, but there were moments during those 2 days where he just said little things that I almost hit him in the face. I almost had to call 911 and go, "Hi, listen, I just killed my dad, and I need someone to come over here.
Take care of my kids for me, please."
You know,
I like his take on that whole.
No, but
I like it.
And I'm not saying that there's. Here's the thing. I say it's understandable that certain older black people have an edge on them because of history, and then you take it to that it's an excuse for violence and murder.
Well,
but it's not. But I'm not thinking of that, and I do. But and again, it's just really fascinating that that's your perspective because of what's going on with you in your life.
It's not just my perspective on that. That's kind of simplistic because I gave you one example of something that happened, and then
it's the only one that matters.
But it isn't
the only one. It's your
first
moment with a black man.
If that was the only knowledge I'd had of that, it would have been a forgotten memory. But it's reinforced constantly by just this unbelievably
like when you
outlandish unbalance in violent crime. And
although
who's perpetrating it.
All of it has been informed by the first experience you had. And I'm not saying this is a flaw. This is how everybody is.
So I'm watching a black man pummeling an old white woman for her money on a video surveillance camera, and it's because of 50 Cent that I look at that. I should look at him like a gentleman?
No, and of
then
course,
what the fuck
of course not.
What does 50 Cent have to do with the way I interpret that?
You started a collection that began with 50 Cent.
But I can't. I'm not collecting. I'm being given this.
Right.
People are throwing this at me as I see from surveillance videos.
You're being thrown a lot. You're being thrown. By the way, Louis Gates Jr., I think from what I know, and I was there. I'm just going to keep adding to the mess.
You were there.
I'm just going to keep adding to the fucking mess. I was there. I am Louis Gates Jr.
I knew it.
And when I saw that cop, no, he acted wrongly. No matter what. Look, I got pulled over by a cop recently, and I was with my kids. This cop was a dick.
Okay.
And he was a young man. That's the thing. That's the other thing that's like everything in your life adds to what's happening in your moment. The cop in this story was a young man. When you get older and you get pulled over by a 22-year-old who likes having a gun, it just bothers you. It just bothers you as a person.
See, it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Is absolutely right.
It bothers all of us, though.
When I got pulled over by this cop recently, I had my kids in the car, and I know he doesn't have kids, and I don't think there's certain people where they have a kid radar, like they just have a sense of there's kids here.
Yeah.
That changes how you act, and some people are like, no, they don't. And then later they'll have kids and look back and go, oh, geez,
She have identification on her?
Yeah, exactly. He comes up to my car, two cops. I passed a guy. A guy was drifting into the left turn lane close to an intersection.
You don't have to make it sound good for me, Louis.
So I assume that he's going to make a left, so I move to the right of him, pass him on the right, and then he changes his mind and goes into a gas station.
Oh, shit.
On the right. Mm-hmm. So I get pulled over by two state troopers, like they needed two cars, and they come to each side, and they both have their hands. There's the hand on the gun thing is important, but some guys do it, civilly, and these guys look hostile, and my kids look
Daytime
scared.
or nighttime?
Daytime.
Okay.
Middle of the day. 9 in the morning.
Could they see you?
Yeah, I'm very white. I'm driving an Infiniti, and it doesn't have spinning rims. There's no loud music.
Your kids are scared.
I'm a balding white man.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And my kids are like, but Daddy, you're white. So the cop comes over and he goes, you know what you did. And I go, well, I'm not sure, honestly. You passed somebody on the right. And I go, oh, well, I thought he was going, like he did that. He had his blinker on. And I go, you know what, sir? I didn't see the blinker, but I assume you're probably right. I probably just had exercised some bad judgment. Like, I'm just trying to get to the ticket.
Right, get to the point.
What's with that inspection sticker? How come the hole isn't punched? I don't know. I went to a gas station and got yeah, you're supposed to have the hole punched. I go, was I supposed to punch it in my actual? And he goes, he reaches in and rips he goes, this is coming with me, and rips my inspection sticker off.
Are you shitting me?
Which is putting me now in, like, I gotta drive around without a sticker till I get one.
That guy's a
He's being an
right.
But I still recognize that my role is respect the law, get the paperwork from him. Yes, sir. get the paperwork.
And it looks like you got a headlight out, boy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess I shouldn't have had that headlight out, officer. I'm collecting information. I'm getting my paperwork. I'm going to go to court and I'm going to fight it, and I won't pay for these tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm driving around. Meanwhile, I got to worry about getting pulled over all the time because nobody has inspection stations upstate because the economy is shit. Yeah. And nobody. You go to a gas station and go, we don't do inspections anymore. Ripped it off.
What a prick.
Didn't wait for me to explain anything to him or whatever. Just
that's just a cock.
But still, my role is to act respectful to police, and I'm sure that. So I think that Louis Gates acted. It's wrong to just start yelling. You just don't get to do that. Even if you are in your own house, even if you're being arrested for doing nothing, even if you're being totally. No, he was right. It's not fair. But but I understand it. That's all. I understand. I empathize with. He was being extremely belligerent to an officer who was, from what they say, and from certain radio transmissions, that was being as polite as possible to this gentleman, answering a call to a burglary in progress. He gets there. And then he's accused of being a racist, and then the professor starts talking about his mama and like that. Yeah, but here's the other thing, too, though. It's like there's so many parts of this that are like part of the... This is such a... I think these kinds of things are always good. I think this is a positive thing because it's a conversation the whole country has. And talking about this kind of thing... See, this is what I was going to say. Pure positive. I think it's all good. I was going to say this before. I don't think it is because I think it shows just how close to the surface all this is bubbling. Of course, and how it's just this fine veneer of spackle. Yeah, but talking is better than... But it can't hurt to talk about it. Talking is better than bubbling, and I think that it's important for people to know what it's like to be a guy like Louis Gates and what it's like to be like this cop and go into the morass of racism every time you answer any kind of a call. Must be very frustrating. But I always also think about Americans, entitled, rich, white, gun-owning Americans who just this castle and house is
castle?
Yes.
Well, you're explaining.
Yeah, you are completely describing your house is your castle. That's right. Anyone walks in, steps on the lawn, you can shoot them in the mouth. Exactly. Kablamo! So in that context, a guy coming into your house and saying anything untoward, you're like, "Fuck you, you race faggot cop. Fuck your mother in the ass, you little faggot racist. Get off my property. I'm the president of Harvard, you little Irish South Boston prick. Go shove it in your mother's cunt. I don't care if you brought that basketball player back to life. You. I'm Louis Gates. I'm calling Barack right now. He's on my speed dial, you fucker. I get it. I get that. Yeah? I think if you were black, that's what you would say to a cop if he came on your property. Or you just shoot him. No, I would be very cordial. I would be the pull myself up by my bootstraps kind of a guy. And, that's what he was. He's like, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and I still get arrested for having a jammed door. It's from Louis Gates Jr.'s point of view, it's a complete outrage. I get it.
Some kind of mental illness to push against that, to go on stage and just bomb horribly and then still do it because you love it. You just have some really deep desire to make it work. And actually, it's usually the comedians that start awkwardly and badly who end up being interesting. The guys who, from my experience, when I've seen people show up and from the first day on stage, they're just easy, like really amiable comics who just know how to talk to people, they don't usually end up being that special. They get some quick success, but they don't usually turn into something like really unusual and great.
Do you remember your first open mic night? Was that how you started? Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget that.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, I got this. I found out that you could do there was an open mic night at a club in Boston where I started called Stitches. And I was actually like 17, almost 18 years old. And I thought, geez, you can go on stage. They said you do 5 minutes. You just put your name in a hat and you get on stage. You can be anybody. That was so exciting to me. So I went to this club Stitches, which is very grown up. They didn't even want to let me in because I was underage. And they have a drinking, a liquor license. And then I went on stage and I did about 2 minutes. Because I didn't have enough material. Like I sputtered, my whole throat constricted, and I heard this roaring in my ears. My eyes were watering. My heart was pounding. pounding, and I couldn't control myself. I couldn't think straight, and all these adults, like drinking adults, were looking at me like I'm an idiot. And I just walked off stage to kind of confused, like, little applause. And I just felt like a pile of garbage. And then I kept doing it.
Okay, so you did really terribly on stage.
Yeah.
What made you think, I need to do more of this? I want to get back on there.
Well, I didn't do it for a little while. And then at the time I was working at a video rental store in Newton, Massachusetts, where I grew up. And Kevin Meaney, who was a very big star in the Boston comedy scene back then, Boston had a very strong local scene. And I knew who Kevin was. I heard him on the radio and stuff. And Kevin was a customer at the store I went to, that I worked at. And I told him that I had done an open mic. And he said, oh, well, you got to come on my show. He had a show that was a huge, him and Steve Sweeney, these two great comics. They had this show where they would, they'd pack the room and put on all the best comics in Boston. And he said, come be on my show. And I said, well, no, I'd need to practice, do more shows to get good enough. And he said, no, I won't let you go on my show unless you go on now. He said, it's interesting because you don't know what you're, like, it's comedy tragedy. He kind of wanted me to go on and bomb. And so I went again into Stitches, and it was a Wednesday night. It was Sweeney Meaney night. It was jam-packed. And I went on, and I think the audience, people's mouths were open. They were shocked at how bad I was. Just shocked. And I got off stage, and Kevin wouldn't look me in the eye, and nobody would. And it was just the most pulverizing humiliation. It was much worse than the first time, because it was a really, the first time was an open mic night. The premise of the show is that most of us don't know what we're doing. But this was a professional comedy show. And I went on it and just flailed. I mean, it was a nightmare.
So was Kevin Meaney cutting you a break or being really cruel and putting you on after that?
That's open to interpretation. I don't know. I mean, he must have known how bad it was going to hurt me. But to me, I think he was giving me a break. It was up to me to make it into something. Who knows? Maybe I could have. Maybe I was funny. He hadn't seen me. Do you know what I mean? So he was giving me a chance. He was letting – it's interesting when somebody becomes an agent in your life for a minute. You know what I mean? And they go, well, let's see what happens if you do this now. It was a formative experience. Sitting here now, I'm very glad I had it. It was
Why?
a great, great thing. Because it gave me a really realistic, shocking picture of what I was facing. That show that I did and that audience and that night, that was still the terrain that I work at today. I think if you're just looking for easy ways or you're looking for victories through life, I don't think you're really getting much out of it. I think you have to, if you really know how hard stuff is, and despite that you extract some tools out of yourself, it's better for you. And the next time I went on stage, I was very wary.
So what was the first time when you felt like you started to understand who you were on stage and like what your onstage personality was going to be? What your, persona, if I could use that word, was going to be. Like what the stage version of you was going to be.
The first time I went on stage, I did kind of offbeat and weird jokes just because I thought you might as well try being more like what makes you laugh. I did really well. My third time on stage, I had really big laughs. And other comedians came up to me and said, hey, you're funny. You got something. And I was so excited that I had a little foot in the door that this is something I could maybe do. And I thought it's me being kind of weird the way I am in real life. I like to say things that don't make a whole lot of sense or surprise people a little bit. But then I got seduced by getting big laughs. And then I just started doing once you get laughs, you're like, oh, I'll do anything for that feeling. That feels really good. So then you start thinking it's just jokes.
So the first time you were on stage and started doing jokes where the comics were coming up to you and saying that was good, you've got something. What were you doing? What is it that you were doing on stage that they had a positive reaction to you?
I was doing more kind of contemplative, weird jokes. I don't think I did things that were self-reflective. I did things that were just like, well, one of the bits was about street signs that I thought they should be punctuated because I got confused by them. Like signs like, no, you turn, drive slow, children, that kind of thing. It was just taking these street signs and reimagining them. And that was an offbeat, funny, silly bit, and it made people laugh, and that's the only one I remember from then now.
When did you start talking about yourself, being self-reflective as you described it?
I think when I don't know, once I was in my 20s, I had grown up so much on the road because I started doing stand-up so young. I didn't go to college. So my formative years were being on the road, which meant I had a lot of embarrassing sexual stories because I didn't have a girlfriend all those years because I was on the road. I was traveling everywhere. And also I was doing a very unusual thing. I was doing stand-up when most people my age were in college. So I was an odd fit with everybody around me. So I started telling stories that were like confessional about strange sexual situations I'd been in. I think that's when I started to enjoy confessing and putting myself out there. But then, but I also talked about things like, the absurdity of being poor and trying to have money in the bank and stuff like that. So it was about life in general. I think it's when I was married and had children that I started to really talk about my own life and what my life felt like.
But before you realized how being a father would give you material for your comedy, did you think, okay, I'm going to be a father and now it's over for me? No more independence, no more easy life on the road, the door slamming shut?
Well, there's always a give and take. I was glad to let go of some of that. The road really sucks when it's all you have. It's really sad. It's very lonely out there. So I was happy to be in a family and be married and everything. And when I first got married and had kids, I thought, I had some friends I played poker with on Mondays, and I thought the poker game on Mondays that's the water line. Like, if I don't make that game, I'm losing something. I'm losing something if I don't make it to that game. It means I'm letting go of my youth, I'm letting go of my manhood, all these things, my independence. But then after a while, I realized, why would I want to go play poker with a bunch of guys in a smoky room when I could be at home with my family? And I realized that a lot of the things that my kid was taking away from me, she was freeing me of. A lot of things that men hang on to when they're younger, they're not good for you. And that there was this huge pride in having a kid, and also that I didn't matter anymore. The greatest thing about having a child is putting yourself second in your own life. It's a massive gift to be able to say that you're not the most important person to yourself.
Why is that a good thing?
Because you'll always, I don't know, because that's always going to let you down. You know what I mean? The idea of, I've got to get me right. I've got to get what I want. That's got to be right. That's never going to quite work. Life just isn't that satisfying. But if you can be useful to somebody else, that you can actually accomplish. You know what I mean? You can go, I did a pretty damn good job today as a dad. Pretty good. Best as I could. That's worth so much more. I saw a movie once where Spencer Tracy catches this woman about to kill herself. It's a pretty dark movie for the time, but I forget the name of the movie. But Spencer Tracy's on a boat, and he sees a rich young girl about to throw herself off the boat because her fiancé left her for another woman. And he's trying to talk her out of suicide. And he says to her, do you have a job? Do you have anything that you do in your life? Which was a funny thing to ask because she's like a 1920s, she's like a socialite. And she said no. And he said, I think you should get a job because it's very hard to be sad and useful at the same time. And ever since I saw that, I keep that in my head. If you can be useful, which means to somebody else, not to yourself, if you can be useful, it just makes you feel better. So I live in service of my kids, for that's the first priority. And then things like my career, they feed into that. They're part of that because I'm providing for them. But also, it's just not that important. If something's not important, it's more fun. It's more something you can look at from objectively instead of having it be this albatross around you. I've got to get this right.
I used to date a woman who was a vegan, so I had to her with my substitute. And remember when meeting a vegan was weird? Remember when that was like a strange thing? Like, oh, what is that? Like, you probably met your first vegan in the 90s. You had like a dinner party, and somebody brought a vegan. And they said, just so you know, I'm a vegan. You're like, I'm sorry, you're a vegetarian? And they're like, no. All right, what is the thing? And they tell you all okay, yeah, I have no food for you. You can eat a napkin and paper, I don't care. But then you met another vegan, and you're like, oh, okay. And then now they're everywhere. Now, who cares? There's several vegans in restaurants and whatever. It's kind of like gay people, sort of a similar trajectory of growth and acceptance in the culture, you know? Gay people and vegans have a lot in common. Like, they both have to tell their families at Thanksgiving. That's when they have to tell them. And dad gets angry. Your mother worked all night cooking that turkey, and you're telling me you're a faggot? You know, it's drama. But those are the old days. Things are better now. I think it's pretty amazing when you think about it. The people used to say that being gay was wrong. Pretty recently, folks used to, like most people used to say that being gay was wrong. Of course, it's not wrong to be gay. I mean, it's pretty gay, but it's not wrong. But that's what people used to say. And now nobody says that. And I think that's a positive change. I think that's a good thing. Although I do wonder if there are gay people who miss when it was wrong. Maybe there's a few who miss when it was, because wasn't it a little more fun when it was like, this is crazy? Like, didn't that give it a little zhuzh, a little, I could lose my job, oh. Because now they're like everybody else, which is great, and they can get married, that's terrific, but is that fun to your husband at your house? Wasn't it more fun to be in an old nightclub at 4 a.m, like, I'm breaking my mother's heart? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't even mean just gay people. Just some people like when sex is a little up, you know? Some people like when sex is a little all right. No. All right, you want to talk about it? Should we talk about it? Yeah, all right. I don't mind talking about it. Okay. Here's what I'll give you some advice. Here's some advice that really only I can give you. Here's my advice. If you ever ask somebody, can I jerk off in front of you? Just let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. If you ever ask somebody, may I jerk off in front of you? And they say yes, just say, are you sure? That's the first part. And then if they say yes, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because look, whatever you're into, okay? Because everybody's got their thing. Whatever your thing is, I don't know. You all have your thing. I don't know what your thing is. You're so lucky that I don't know what your thing is. Do you understand how lucky you are that people don't know your thing? Because everybody knows my thing. Everybody knows my thing now. Obama knows my thing. Do you understand how that feels? To know that Obama was like, good Lord. Everybody in the world knows my thing. I got on an airplane in Italy. This little kid was like, Mama, that's the guy who jack off in front of the people. So whatever your thing is, I don't know what it is. Maybe you can't come unless you have your father on speakerphone. Whatever it is. If you want to do it with somebody else, you need to ask first. But if they say yes, you still don't get to just go, woo, and charge ahead. You got to check in often. I guess that's what I would say. Check in. Because it's not always clear how people feel. Like, men are taught to make sure the woman is okay. But the thing is, women know how to seem okay when they're not okay. So you can't just look at her face and be like, yeah, her eyes are dry, we're fine, let's just keep going. You got to check in. Because communication during sex can be very confusing. Like sometimes you're with a woman, you're having sex, she's making noises. She's going like, ooh, ah. And you're like, oh, she loves it. Not necessarily. Sometimes they're making those noises just to get through it. Because it's easier to go, ooh, than to say, I hate how you f*** me. Honestly, it's awful. So she goes, ooh, baby. It's kind of like a Negro spiritual. It's sort of similar. So to assume that she likes it is like if they heard slaves singing in the fields and you're like, hey, they're having a great time out there. As far as my thing, I don't know what the f***. People are like, why do you want to do it anyway? Okay, I don't know. I like jerking off. I don't like being alone. That's all I can tell you. I get lonely. Where is everyone? It's just sad. I like company. I like to share. I'm good at it, too. If you're good at juggling, you wouldn't do it alone in the dark. You would gather folks and amaze them. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that shit. Well.
The great Louis C.K.
Oh,
sorry. I said the great Patrice O'Neill earlier.
you throw that name around?
I saw Louis' new hour at Caroline's over the weekend. Fantastic job, Lou.
Oh, thanks, man.
Fantastic
that was great that
job.
You came.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you.
You like Lollipop by Lil Wayne?
I listen to it very loud on my speakers in my car all the time.
But you're white.
I know. Well, so I love it. I guess it's a guilty pleasure or whatever, but I turn it up really loud. It's the kind of song you need to listen to in a car where the mirrors are vibrating from the music and everything.
Yeah.
I just really like it.
It's in the pop category. I don't mind a good pop song every once in a while.
No, that's the last one I liked this way was "Believe" by Cher. That's the last song that I liked.
Oh, jeez. That's a little gayish.
Oh, well, totally. It's those Lil Wayne songs. I mean, it's all gay. I
don't think hardcore black guys are like, cranking up this Lollipop song, right?
No.
Right, Patrice? Is more like a girly song, I'm thinking.
I don't know.
But it's a pimp song. It's that pimp. It's that thing where black guys that are pimps and they get furry and they start getting peacock-ish and then they become women.
Yeah. Well, I got something for you, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Louis said, he's going to cough. He's whacking his bag right now.
You gotta listen to this when you're running. You gotta go running with this on your iPod. Believe.
All right,
it's very motivating.
Away from gay people? What are you running from?
Well, the one, if Lou's going to admit, I'll admit. The one that gets me is a Madonna song.
Which one?
Ray of Light.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like running.
All right.
Oh, Ray of Light.
Ray of Light makes you run a little faster, a little harder if you're working out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, in little pink shorts, definitely.
Yeah.
You dick.
No, I'm saying it's awesome with the pink shorts. I'm not making fun of you.
You like pink shorts?
Well, when I'm running to
listen
Madonna
to this beat.
shorts.
How could you not like this as far as pop songs go? Not everything has to be a guitar riff.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
I mean, I don't search out Madonna songs, but if you're exposed to a song like this, I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Wait, she's singing now.
Well, let her get into it a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
You're just warming up on the treadmill right now.
Give Madonna a second.
Yeah, give her time, man. We're revving up, man. We're going to a higher level here.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I think this is a girl's song.
Wait when she screams,
and
I feel.
You know what? You know what this looks like when she does it live.
Here it comes.
Faggot.
You know what that?
Faggot. I'm sorry. That's all I can fucking say. What is this? Inspirational? This horse shit? Hell yeah!
It's if she's doing this live,
you
are just seeing gay men jumping around to this.
Wait, you know what? Also,
with magical blinking lights with a lot of extra horse shit.
Right.
No,
right.
everybody's got backpacks on and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the rhymes I say, sharp as a nail, witty as can be, and not for sale.
Right.
And that's all you got to do is see two niggas with Adidas, and I still want to be Run DMC. If I could be, I would. This hat is a dedication to them, man.
It certainly is.
Like, isn't there motherfuckers you love like that? You don't love this.
No.
Hold on, here it comes again. Come on, Lou. Yeah, see, I'm getting an awesome from Lou. He knows. He knows.
Not all. The point of that music is it's all produced music, and if you listen to those three songs, by the way, Lollipop, that one, and Believe, they're probably the same producer.
Gay, totally gay, Liberace gay.
Yeah.
Lou, you like that, don't you, faggot?
Lou, now I'm not with you. I could squeeze one of these songs on my iPod, not all three. Cause
I wish I knew how to quit you.
I might be able to squeeze this in between some cool, like, white boy rock music, but not all three, man.
Yeah,
Oh, no, but I mean, they're all the same. It's basically whoever that producer works for gets the hit. Like, whoever gets, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is all shitty music, but it makes my body feel good, because I think my body's
You
gay.
really like Lollipop, Louis?
Lollipop? I crank it all the time.
All right, so that's fair, because I think I like some songs probably.
But Anthony's not innocent here. Come on, Ant.
What?
You listen to some weird stuff, too, man.
Weird, not fruity like that.
Like Gunfire and
All right, give us one.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
I'm not really a Dean Martin fan.
Hold on, here we go again, Lou!
Just get fucked in the ass as you.
This just brings white people back when they lived in outer space.
I love Lou in the background. Awesome!
Awesome. I love Madonna.
Hey, Lou, listen. Any group, what group do you love? Like you go, I love these motherfuckers as just, I love them.
Oh, I have I like Led Zeppelin.
Now, number one you love. I love Run DMC, and then there's some other ones I love, but if you go, you get a choice to keep a music group alive.
Number one for me is Zeppelin.
Keep Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin is huge for me.
Number one.
The Beatles are huge for me. Led Zeppelin's huge.
I
for
love
me.
the Beatles myself, but number one, you go. This survives.
Zeppelin, timeless.
It's hard. That's really
timeless.
It's
Zeppelin
just not that
overplayed.
Easy,
Not.
It's just not that easy.
No, the songs they play on the radio overplayed.
So overplayed.
Zeppelin has a whole catalog that could hit the radio airwaves tomorrow and do extremely well.
It also depends on I just got this Marvin Gaye CD and I can't stop listening to that.
Which one? What song, Lo?
What's Going On? The whole album. It's one song fades into the next and it's phenomenally
you
good.
Hippie.
It's better than anything right now. That's the Marvin Gaye was going on.
Can't really argue that one, man. Marvin Gaye was
competes with Led Zeppelin. Probably so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Any best black artistic anything probably beats any artistic white anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Very bold statement.
It certainly is.
Hey, I want to thank Billy Boston. Yes, I'll tell you a rap song that I couldn't get enough of. 99 Problems, but the ain't one.
Of course, because it's just.
But that was. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
That song?
It's nothing wrong with but you liked it.
I'm not gonna search out black songs in general, but
black people love that song.
A song like that, that's what I like.
I'm into that song, but you're into it for just because white people are fascinated with pimping.
No, dude, it's
fascinated with that shit.
It's the beat of this song.
A dryer sheet
in my shirt. Line is amazing.
But Rockbox is Rockbox.
A dryer sheet in my shirt.
Oh, you better.
Can I just say one thing about Lollipop?
Yeah.
You guys were trying to figure out. I mean, the rapper thing is really simple. It's just let her lick the wrapper. Like if you've got a lollipop, it's got a wrapper on it.
Oh, right.
So he's talking about a condom?
No, he's saying the double entendre. The first entendre is the wrapper that you put on a lollipop.
Right.
She wants to lick the wrapper like it's like he's giving her scraps, and then the other side of it is wrapper starting with an R.
Yeah.
Because he is a rapper.
That makes sense. She's like fooling around with the wrapper a little bit. Could be the pants. Could be the fly.
Like the rapper.
Or he's just a stupid black guy who's
making up stupid words.
That's a very bold statement there, Louis.
You could say that. He's Mexican.
No, I'm saying he's stupid, and he happens to also be black.
I like
Oh, there's an apology coming. Do you have black friends, Louis?
I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah.
Must be awful to be other kinds of stuff. You know, I'm glad I'm this. This is a pretty good deal when you consider the alternatives. Anything else, any other kind of thing, you're in the food chain. You're in the food. We are out of the food chain. I don't know if we fully appreciate the fact that we got out of the food chain. That is a massive upgrade. Because for every other living thing, life ends by being eaten. That's how all life ends, is every single life except human life. Every life ends like this. Ah! 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 We're the only ones that get to just die old in a bed. Just, I love you. Bye. I mean, imagine if we were still in the food chain on top of everything else. Imagine if we were in the food chain. It would just be another thing you gotta deal with. You're already having a bad day. You wake up in the morning, you're making breakfast, you burn your toast, and it's too late to try again. And your kid comes in and says, "Bleh," and you're like, fine. And it's just, why? You get a thing in the mail that says that your phone's different and your mortgage is another company now. What? I don't get it. Then you're walking to work like, why do I even bother? Oh, God damn it! There's always Cheetahs at the train station. Stop it! Do you think that sharks would be embarrassed if they knew that we could all see their fins sticking out of the top of the water? I think they'd be bummed, because I don't think sharks are aware of that at all. I think sharks think they're slick. They swim around like, hey, nobody has any idea who's down here. And we're all up here like, there's totally a shark right there. It wouldn't be fun being a predator either. If you're a predator, imagine if every time you're hungry, you gotta chase a guy who's running for his life. You gotta, come on, dude, get over here. And just hold him down and bite his neck till he shuts the up for a minute. So you can just sit there and eat his stomach before you go to work. Would really that's why animals just they go, let's do this together, man. You chase the parents away, I'm gonna eat the kid, and you circle back. That's why they do it like that. It, I'm eating babies. This is grown-ups ain't worth the meat. Whoops. All right. God damn it. Idiot. This isn't a gay voice, by the way. It's not. Shut up. Yeah. So how have you all been enjoying living the way I already was for a couple of years before all this? Welcome to my life. Can't work, can't go outside, can't show your face, gotta wash your groceries. Because I got cum on the groceries. That's why in my mind, that's what it means. Maybe that's what you were thinking, but. I have a solution for the pandemic, by the way, for COVID. I have it. This is it. We test everybody, first of all. Now, every time we find somebody who has COVID, you kill them. That's it. That's the solution. You won't need another one after that one. That's the final one. It's been pretty amazing to be alive during this thing, during COVID, because you're not going to see this again. And wow, did we learn some shit. That's really the things that teach you in life are things you never would have chosen to do for yourself. I mean, think about your life as far as it's been where you have the choices, where you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pursue this. It all goes to shit, every bit of it. And even when it goes right, you're like, why don't I like it? It's what I wanted, but why don't I like it? Because it's your choice, and your choices are based on fear and just thin, stupid hopes. But when life just kicks you in the balls, and you're like, oh, everything's different now, and it shows you wouldn't have looked at otherwise. That's the great joy in it. And what I thought was really interesting about COVID, and still is that it's the first thing I've seen where everyone on Earth had the same problem. Every human being on Earth had the same problem. We never had that before. That's why we don't give a shit about each other. Because you read like, oh, there's floods in Houston. You're like, water, what is it? What's your problem? Floods. What is that? Just walk like this. What, you can't handle some water? My basement floods. What the f***? Who gives a shit? Like, he's on a canoe in the street. That looks like fun. Why is that an issue? There's fires in California. Blow it out. Blow out a fire? Get the water from Houston and dump it on California. Fucking deal with it. But we all had the same problem. Every person from Zimbabwe to Tokyo to Newark to Honolulu, everybody was doing the same dumb shit. Every person had the same stupid moment at the same, just trying to get the mask out of the well of your car door. Trying to, I gotta go in Walgreens. Where's my mask? You try to, it's got pistachio shells in it and pennies. I'm sure it's still effective. I actually like the masks because everybody looked nice. Everybody did. Because it's just their eyes. Eyes are nice. You never hear somebody say, that guy's got gross eyes. It's really, we should hide these. We should keep the masks because this is disgusting. How do we just, with no shame, look inside my face? Spit at a tongue and teeth? It's gross. Cover your mouth. Don't. I'd rather look at your hole than your mouth. I really would. I'd rather stare into your hole than glance at your mouth. Aren't that bad. Not to look at. We don't like to think about because like they're, the shit and the farts and the diarrhea. But that's a small portion of their time. You ever really look at an ass? You ever really look? Once you see it, like, in nature, it's a little, that's all. That's your hole. It's like, you know what it is? It's just an aperture. That's all it is. That's your hole. It's like a camera shutter. That's all it is. It's like the opening to the James Bond movies. That's what your is. You ever go to lick somebody's asshole and there's a little guy with a gun in there? That was bad.
I always seem to get in trouble with people. I don't know what happens to me. I was in traffic once, and a guy behind me lost his mind. That ever happen to you? The guy behind you in traffic just decides that you're the problem. It's you. I don't know what happened. I'm sitting in this car, and there's 50 cars ahead of me before any light. And the guy behind me just starts beep, 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 beep. I look at him, and he's honking just at me. He's amazed that I'm not going. He's going, go! Jesus! Me, just go! Screaming out his window at me. Like I'm driving all 50 cars there, you know? I'm pushing them like shopping carts in a parking lot. What does he think? He keeps yelling, go! And I'm trying to do that thing. What? I can't. What do you want? What do you want? Why are you... But it just made him madder. He was like purple and crazy. And I'm laughing at him, you know, till he gets out of his car. He's one of these guys, gets out of his car, comes up to my car, starts screaming at me, move it! Move it! And what am I gonna say back? What's gonna be my argument that's gonna make him see clearly, you know? Well, I can't because of all the cars. I'm not able to get through the cars because they're solid. They're made of solid material. You know what I mean? And he's going to go, oh, yeah, I didn't know they were solid. That's right. Yeah, you can't drive through the cars. I'll just go back to my car and wait. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. But he kept yelling at me, so I just decided, you know what? I'm going to argue with this guy. I'll argue with him. But I'm going to argue about something else. I'm not going to have his argument. I'm going to have mine. So he goes, move it! And I go, well, give me back my jacket! And he stopped. And I was like, yeah, you got my jacket! Give it back! Now! I want it! He got scared. Got back in his car and he locked his doors, so, you know, that's what I do from now on. I was talking to my, this guy Jerry that I know, and he's one of these guys, you know those people who, they sound like they're happy for you, but they sound like they're in pain also? You know people that talk like that? He's like, hey, what's going on? And I go, well, my sister is getting married. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, and I think we're going to have a baby. Oh, my God. Ah! Ah! God bless you! Thanks, pal.
I always wonder, is hell like organized? Is it clear where you're supposed to go? Is there like a schedule to your damnation? Sir, please don't I know only I'm the only one that hears it, but this guys, really, I'm so close to finishing the show, and when you talk, I hear it in my ear, and it fucks up my timing, and it makes my job hard. So could you not talk during my act, please? It's only 10 more minutes. I am talking. I'm looking right in your face. Why would I be talking? Do you share eyes with another person?
Last thing you can do is share hair.
What's that?
Last thing you can do is share hair.
The last thing I could do is share hair. That is the heckle I have ever heard in my life. That is the dumbest thing any human being has ever said to me in my entire life. One time I was walking down the street in New York and this guy walked up to me and went, dude. And that made a lot more sense than that heckle. The last thing I could do is share hair. Why didn't you just say you're bald and ugly? That would have made it was a weird way around the baldness. Wait a minute, he said share, so I'm gonna say hair. You can't share hair. It's the last thing you can do. That's how little hair you have. Alright, good luck with that, sir. Good luck with that. Whatever you're gonna do.
I pull my pants up.
You'd pull your pants up? If you were me, you would pull your pants up. That now just became the dumbest thing anybody ever said to me. This is remarkable. You're like Mark McGuire breaking a record and then taking it to the next level. That was amazing. What's that? I don't have an act planned? I've been doing my act for 40 minutes, you daft cunt. What the are you talking about? I don't have an act planned? I've been trying to do it, but you're in my ear. I asked so nicely for you to be quiet. Really nicely. It's only 10 minutes left. It's hardly worth it. People hate you. People that don't know you hate you. That can't feel very good. All right, let's take the hostility down. I'm sorry I called you a daft cunt. I really am. I'm seriously sorry. I don't like talking like that to nobody. I'm not sorry, sir, that I said your words were dumb, because they were. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you odd. All right. I like this energy. This is interesting. I swear to God, the next thing I'm going to do is funny. So just watch it. You'll miss the show. You could go anywhere and talk to your friends. What's that? Okay. I will. What's that? What's that, sweetheart? What'd you say?
I think Aaron Jackson was absolutely wonderful.
That's great. So do I. Let's give Aaron a nice round of applause. He's a funny comedian. Weird. Positive thing in the middle of all that shit. You're not funny. You're no good. But I happen to think that Elton John's very talented.
Hey, I bet you got a redhead teddy nipple too.
You bet I have a redheaded teddy nipple? Alright. Are they leaving? Alright, good. That's good. Alright, sir. Hope you're,
Maryland representing. You look like the 18th hole in Hagerstown, man. That's all I can say.
None of these things.
Turn around and let everybody represent. Get up, redneck.
Sir? Turn around. I just want to know how that fucking works. Like, I just turn around and let everyone represent. All right, everybody, come on, everybody represent. Everybody represent. Thank you. That was excellent advice. All right. I don't know. It happens. People get excited. They get upset. I think they were just ashamed because they realized they were hurting the show, and I told them in a very unfunny way, and they're just like, they felt ashamed, so they decided to be rude. People is so weird. Okay. I was in the hotel checking in. I had another weird run-in with a strange person. And it was this kid. He was 8 years old. And he's standing there. Really... This just happened the other day, so I don't know if it's really funny, but I was standing waiting to check in, and there's this kid, and he's like just like he's retarded. I don't know what, he's just really up. Whatever the way is that he's up, he's going like, and the whole thing. And I'm trying to be a good citizen and liberal and just looking straight ahead. That's what you do, right? You go, I don't see that. You have to pretend that ain't there. Oh, it's just a child going, okay, I have no problem. And then he notices me and starts being like retarded at me. He's going like, and I'm like, fuck, please don't. And I got sweat pouring down my back because I don't want to see reacting. Nobody wants. And then all of a sudden his father, who's standing there, goes, Johnny, cut it out. And he goes, sorry. He's fine. Nothing wrong with him. Perfectly normal. Little mother. Kick him right in his little tiny nuts.
But it's important to me to do a good job because it's my job. I mean, also you paid me, and you paid me. I get money from every ticket, so your money is mine now. I own it now. And it's gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm a piece of shit. I don't save money. If I die tonight, my kids are homeless tomorrow morning. Someone's gonna wake them up. Your daddy's dead. Get your shit and get out. Because I don't save money. I think it's arrogant to save money. You shit it out. Money is like oxygen. It's not my money. It's the money. I could die tomorrow. So it. I spend it. I didn't buy my mom a house. You're supposed to have that musical montage when you get a TV show where you take your mom to the... Oh, look at it. I didn't do that. She's my mom, but she's not me. Why would I buy her a house? But